1. We're live. Welcome, high school baseball fans, to FSPN's coverage of the FHSAA Class 3A semifinal game from Fort Myers Hammond Stadium at the Lee County Sports Complex. I'm Uncle Muggs. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play, everybody, but it's audio only. So you can watch everything on FHSAA Network, and you can listen to it right here on FSPN. And we have a good one for you today. We have the home team, the Bishop Verot Vikings, against the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. Let's go over the Bishop Verot's details, and they're led by their head coach, Casey Scott. Also in the dugout for the Vikings is Pascal Evangelista. He's the assistant coach. So is Dan Tufariello, Stacy Davis, Ricky Flock, and Adam Kilos is in the dugout for the home team on the scoreboard, the Bishop Verot Vikings. And the visiting team, the Miami Springs Golden Hawks, and they're led by their head coach, David Fanshaw. Fanshaw brings his Hawks for the second time to Fort Myers to battle for the state championship. And we're about to get underway. The coaches and the umpires are discussing the field details right now. Inside the dugout with David Fanshaw today is Corey Estrada and Jorge Dominguez. And you can also find Jesus Hernandez in there. And we'll go over the defense real quick now that we have a moment for the home team, the Bishop Verot Vikings. The starting pitcher is Tyler Reeder, and behind the plate is Carter Chandler. Playing first base for the Vikings is Nick Raber. Next to him at second base, it's Braylon Sheffield. Playing shortstop, it's Owen Rardin. And playing third base is Joey Lawson. In left field, it's Nico Ayers. In center field for the Vikings, it's Grayson Carpenter. And rounding out the defense for the Vikings, it's Brody Baxman. And since the Golden Hawks are going to bat first, let's go over their starting lineup. Leading off and playing catcher, it's Kelvin Pereira. He'll be followed by the left-handed hitting Magdiel Estevez. He'll be playing left field. Batting third is the shortstop, Roydan Perez. The cleanup batter is the third baseman, Jordani Gonzalez. Playing first base and batting fifth, it's Darian Soto. The DH is Taylor Ancheta. The seventh batter is Jordan Torres, and he'll be playing second base today. Austin Argote is playing right field and batting eighth. And rounding out the Miami Springs lineup is the center fielder, number 42, Justin Mercado. We're about to get underway here. They're going to announce the home team first. Actually, they're announcing the Miami Springs non-starters right now. And in just a minute, we're going to cut the live video feed, and we're going to go with just the audio. I know it's not as fun as when we have the video up, but let's go over these Bishop Verot Vikings. And the Miami Springs Golden Hawks really have their work cut out for them. The Verot Vikings are 32-2 on the season, and they belong to Class 3A, District 11. And in their last 20 games, they're 19-1. Number 8 ranked in Florida. And they have a 12-0 record on the road. And even though Bishop Verot is only about 6-7 miles from here, this is considered a road game or an away game. They did lose one game versus Cavalry Christian in the finals of their regionals. And they were able to come back and get one run in the top of the eighth inning to hold off Cavalry Christian and make it here to Fort Myers. Other than that, the last loss for the Vikings was back in March versus Charlotte. And they've beat some really, really good teams. The Verot Vikings have beat American Heritage. They beat John Carroll. They beat St. John's Country Day that won themselves a 1A title last week right here in Fort Myers. And they also beat Wesley Chapel that made it to the 5A finals. The Vikings consist of 4 seniors, 9 juniors, 5 sophomores, and 4 freshmen. And the key to this game today for the Golden Hawks is to keep their big banger, the third baseman, Joey Lawson off of the bases. Lawson had 5 RBIs in that regional final game. He has 8 home runs on the year, 33 RBIs, and has 12 doubles to his name. And another name you should circle is Brody Baxman. He's a quick one. He has 12 stolen bases, 15 RBIs on the year. Grayson Carpenter is the senior. He's batting .418, 34 runs scored, and he has 14 stolen bases. And another one to keep your eye on is Braylon Sheffield. He's a senior. He has a .504 on-base percentage. He scored 37 runs and 22 RBIs for the Bishop Verot Vikings. Let's go over the Golden Hawks, and they're led by their head coach, David Fanshaw. They belong to Class 3A, District 15, and they come in here to Fort Myers with a record of 26 wins and 3 losses. And the Hawks swept their way through the regionals, beating IMatter, Pace, and St. Brendan's. The Golden Hawks are 17-3 in their last 20 games, and the only 3 losses that they had was a 3-1 loss to Cohia. They got shut out 2-0 by Jesse's Beleng Wolverines, and they also lost to Varela back in April. The team batting average is over 300 for these Golden Hawks, and you can keep your eye on the lefty, the left fielder, Magdiel Estevez. He's hitting .417 with 35 hits, .560 slugging percentage. He has 6 doubles and 17 RBIs to his name. Austin Argote, the right fielder, also has an above 500 on-base percentage, and he's batting .357 on the year. Kelvin Pereira is their leader. He's like a coach on the field. He has 3 home runs, and he has over 105 at-bats this season. Another one to watch is the shortstop, Roy Dan Perez, and he's hitting .361, 30 hits on the year and 1 home run. And his double play combination right next to him at second base is Jordan Torres, and he's hitting over 300 and fielding .966. So on the mound for the Golden Hawks of Miami Springs is the ace of Miami-Dade County. It's Kevin Roque, and he comes in with an 11-1 record, a 1.47 ERA. And I got to be quiet now because the national anthem is playing. One of my favorite songs of all times, and that's because I know all the words. All right, we're about to cut off our live feed here. We don't want to get in trouble. We're going to bring you the audio only. Give me 1 second to set that up. There's Uncle Muggs. FHSAA has put on an excellent tournament along with the Lee County Sports Complex here in Fort Myers, and if you've never been here, this place is amazing. It's a minor league stadium. It plays host to the Minnesota Twins when they're here on the spring training, and then they turn it over to the Fort Myers Mighty Muscles for the Single A season. And we're about to get underway with the Hawks and the Vikings from Fort Myers, and you're listening to Uncle Muggs. And we should have a good one for you today. Already, South Florida has crowned 3 champions. The Mater Academy Lions took the 5A title last week, and so did the Stoneman Douglas Eagles and the St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders. All of them, congratulations. Hopefully we'll bring back another one, and that'll be 4 for South Florida. Unfortunately, Brito lost in the semis earlier in the last week. So a couple more warm-up pitches for Reeder. And We're gonna about to get underway here. The home team on the scoreboard, the Verot Vikings, are wearing, they're all white with the pinstripes, and they have the old school stirrups with the black socks with the yellow underneath. Their colors are black and gold, so wearing all white with the black letters. And here comes Kelvin Pereira, the leadoff batter for Miami Springs. And Springs are wearing their away grays with the maroon sleeves and the classic maroon numbers. Tyler Reeder on the mound, a big, hard-throwing righty. His first pitch to Pereira splits the plate for strike one. Let's bring up that scoreboard, and we'll keep you up to date with all the details. It's a warm one. It's been warm. Hasn't been any rain or lightning. There usually is this time of year. Reeder's second pitch is in the dirt, an easy take for Pereira. The count evens at 1-1. A little bit of wind to speak of is blowing out right now, but that could change at any minute. It's a cloudy day today. The first four or 5 days we had out here, not a cloud in the sky. It is warm, though. Second pitch from Reeder's taken low for a ball. Count goes to 2-1. On the right-handed hitting, Kelvin Pereira. Pereira is one of the leaders on this ball club. It's like having a coach on the field behind the plate. He works with the pitcher's mechanics and keeps him in check. The 2-1 from Reeder, swung on and hit high to left field. And anything in the air here at Hammond Stadium is going to be an out. Ayers comes over, wow, and he makes a nice stretching catch in foul territory for the first out. Like I mentioned, Hammond Field is huge. This is a major league ballpark. This is 330 down the lines, 405 to center field. So anything hit in the air, it's going to be caught. There's a lot of room to cover. And what I've been noticing is that the infield plays a few steps in from when they usually play at home. Now stepping in from the left side, it's Madiel Estevez, and he's playing the left field. And if the Hawks win today, he'll be tomorrow's pitcher. Takes the first pitch for a ball down low from Reeder with one out, no score in the top of the first. That one's away. Ball two. On deck is the shortstop, Roydan Perez. Reeder's coming from that modified full windup. And that one swung on and hit almost over here by us. And that'll be a strike to the lefty, Estevez. Estevez is part of that 1-2 combination, the pitching combination for Miami Springs. You'll see Kevin Roque, and he's the starter today. And if they get past Bishop Verot, you'll see Estevez on the mound tomorrow. Here's the 2-1, swung on, and that one's hit hard in the right field. But Brady Baxman gets a beat on it, and he stumbles while he catches it. It was almost a diving play, but a nice catch in right field by Brody Baxman for the second out of the inning. Well hit ball by Estevez. Almost found the gap. But an excellent catch over there by Brody Baxman. Grayson Carpenter's in center field for the Vikings. Nico Ayers is in left field. Lawson, Rardin, Sheffield, and Raber make up the infield. Behind the plate, it's Carter Chandler. And the hard-throwing right-handers on the mound for the Vikings, Tyler Reeder. Uncle Muggs in the booth. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I want to say hi to Kevin Roque's sister, who's watching on the NFHS network, but she said she's listening to us here. So thank you. Join our chat. We have a chat going on, and we had quite a bit of traffic on there yesterday, and I was answering some of those. We had some fans down in Key West listening to us during the St. Thomas game. Joey Wardlow and his St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders. All right, I apologize. I thought Baxman caught that ball, but it's actually a double. And what I thought was his hat flying off of his head was actually the ball popping out of his glove. And there's a ground ball by Perez in the hole. Rardon goes to third, and he's going to be safe. Steves beats him to the bag. Owen Rardon had to go to his right side and get that ball in the hole. He fired over to Lawson. And the Birds, the Golden Hawks, are going to have runners in the corner with one out for Jordani Gonzalez. All right, an infield hit for Roy Dan Perez. And that's going to bring up Jordani Gonzalez, the third baseman, with runners in the corners. And Verot was the heavy favorite coming into this. But this week has taught us that the underdogs are the ones to look out for. Gonzalez squares and he puts one down. And it bounces on home plate for a foul ball. So we'll do that one all over again. But this time with a strike and one out in a scoreless game from the top of the first inning. I assumed that Baxman caught that ball in right field. And when he fell, his hat came off, and it's a white hat. And it was the ball that kept on rolling. I thought it was just a hat that came off, but nevertheless, Estevez with a double, and he's standing on third base. Perez with a big lead, another square to bunt. Gonzalez lays one down. They're coming home, and they're going to get him. They're going to get Estevez at home plate for the second out of the inning. Gonzalez bunted it right back to Reeder. Reeder underhanded to the catcher, Chandler, who was able to tag out the speedy Estevez coming home, breaking on a safety squeeze called by Fanshaw. A little aggressive here. So with two outs, the Golden Hawks will have runners on first and second base. First baseman Darian Soto steps in. Perez is on second. Gonzalez on first base. There's a throw back to second, and it's not in time. Perez gets back head first. A missed opportunity there for the Golden Hawks here in the top of the first inning in a scoreless game. Reeder's pitch is up high for a ball. Count goes 1-0 to the first baseman, Soto. Reeder's a tall, lanky, I wouldn't say lanky, he's pretty filled up. He's a big boy. Throws that one inside, an easy take for Soto. It almost hit him. But Tyler Reeder's a tall kid. Throws hard, and he's looking to get the Vikings out of a jam here. Even if the Hawks don't score, they've made Reeder throw a lot of pitches in this first inning. And it's hot out there. Reeder can't find the plate. It goes 3-0. 2 outs in a scoreless game, top of the first inning, and you're listening to FSPN. I'm getting a message from our YouTube. Jorge Luis Gonzalez says, "Let's go Hawks." And I agree. Let's go Hawks. Got my Miami Springs hat right here. Here's the 3-0 from Reeder. And that one just misses outside, so the bases are going to be loaded for the Golden Hawks here. And the pitching coach for Verot is going to come out and talk to Reeder. Reeder's wiping his brow, taking his cap off because it is a warm, warm day here in Fort Myers. Scoreless game. A walk to Soto is going to bring up Taylor Ancheta, the left-handed hitting DH. So Perez makes his way over to third base. Jordani Gonzalez is at second base. And Darian Soto just got walked. Base hit will get a run at least in this big ballpark, maybe two. Gonzalez with good speed on second base. 2 outs and bases loaded in the top of the first inning for the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. And Chetta steps in from the left-hand side. He's a left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. First pitch from Reeder is low and away, and that's 5 in a row. I'm sure the Golden Hawks wouldn't mind a free run here in the top of the first. Off of the hard-throwing right-hander. Reeder steps off. Him and Chandler are going over the signs once again. Even though they have the pitch comm, they have that wristband with all the information on it. Here's the 1-0 from Reeder. Now one's even more outside for ball 2. 2 outs in the opening inning from Hammond Stadium in the Class 3A FHSAA State Championship. The winner here will play South Walton, and they won earlier today convincingly. Boy, there's some big boys on that South Walton team. Here's the 2-0 from Reeder. Taking all the way is Tyler, and that's 3-0. And the Hawks wouldn't mind a freebie right here. Jordan Torres, the second baseman, is on deck. Taylor's in take mode here. And that one gets a corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs, top of the first, no score. Already a play at the plate. Estevez was gunned down at home off of a Gonzalez bunt. Here's the 3-1. Swung on and missed. Count goes full. Reeder's got a chance here to get out of the jam for the Vikings. 3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. Something's got to give. And that one's flared over the third baseman. Back on it goes Lawson, and wow, an over-the-shoulder catch in shallow left field for the third out. So the Miami Springs Hawks are going to leave 3. They get none. We head to the bottom of the first from Hammond Stadium, and you're listening to FSPN. Thanks for listening, everybody.
South Florida high school baseball fans, this one's for you. Every Sunday at 6 a.m., grab your coffee and get ready for the most entertaining, informative, and downright hilarious recap of the week in high school baseball. Hosted by Anthony Chappie Castillo and Brian Uncle Muggs Gonzalez, this show covers all the action from the past week. Big hits, game-saving plays, standout moments, and more. Check out the Player Spotlight, where we sit down with some of South Florida's top talent and get to know the stars behind the stats. Then swing by the Coach's Corner, where we interview local head coaches and dive into their strategy, leadership, and the heart of the game. And don't miss your chance to be part of the show. We feature fan interaction via Instagram, so send us your hot takes, questions, and shout-outs. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay in the loop and help us grow this incredible baseball community. Every play, every player, every Sunday. This is the South Florida High School Baseball Recap Show. Don't miss it.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Hammond Stadium for the Class 3A FHSAA Championship semifinal game between the home team on the scoreboard, the Bishop Verot Vikings, and the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. On the mound is the ace of the county, Kevin Roque. Behind the plate, it's Kevin Pereira. Darian Soto's at first base for the Golden Hawks. Jordan Torres is at second base. Roydan Perez is the shortstop. Jordani Gonzalez is playing third. Magdiel Estevez is in left field. Justin Mercado's in center field. And Austin Argote is in right field for the visitors on the scoreboard. The Golden Hawks of Miami Springs. And stepping in is the center fielder, Grayson Carpenter. He'll be followed by Braylon Sheffield. And then it's Joey Lawson, who just made the third out of the top of the first inning. First pitch from Roque. Lifted to right field. Second baseman's going out. Torres is calling it. Here comes the right fielder, Argote, and he calls it off and makes a play in shallow right field near the foul line for the first out of the inning. No score, bottom of the first. Uncle Muggs bringing you the play-by-play on FSPN. Batting from the left side of the plate, the second baseman, Braylon Sheffield. And he takes the first pitch for a ball from Roque. Roque tall, 6'3". There's a strike to even the count. He works quick. He gets the ball back from Esteves, and he puts it in his glove, and he's ready to throw it back in. Here's the 1-1. Didn't miss by much. 2 balls and 1 strike. Looked like a fastball inside. Good velocity on both pitchers. Roque gets his sign. Now he kicks. Here comes the 1-1, and that one's fouled back almost by us. Count will go to 2-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning in a scoreless game, a Class 3A championship semifinal. Roque quickly kicks and deals, a swing and a miss, and the first croqueta issued here in Fort Myers by Kevin Roque on a high fastball that swung on and missed. Quickly 2 outs, and not a lot of pitches thrown by Roque on a warm May 19th day. Roque right away goes to work on Joey Lawson. Lawson has 8 home runs on the year, 33 RBIs. He had 5 RBIs in that final game against Cavalry to get his Vikings here where they are. Here's the 0-1, hard ground ball foul. That one almost got a piece of Casey Scott, the head coach of the Vikings. He had to get out of the way of that one. Quickly the count goes 0-2 to the third batter and the third baseman. Black and yellow seems to be the theme out here. We've had a few teams wearing black and yellow, St. Thomas Aquinas. Today the home team, the Bishop Verot Vikings, are wearing white, but their accent colors are black and yellow. And it kind of looks like the old school Pirates. A nice baseball look. They got the stirrups on. Here's the pitch from Roque, the 0-2. And another croquetica, number 2. We're going to head to the top of the second inning in a scoreless game from Hammond Stadium in the 3A FHSAA semifinal. And you're listening to Uncle Muggs on FSPN. Don't go anywhere, everybody. Stay with us. Well, Chappie, before we get into the recap, some of the pitchers from around the league were giving out so many croquetas, and they were nice enough to send us some. These right here are some special Miami Springs croquetas from Kevin Roque. These are delicious. You got to try the Andy Espinoza croquetas. Those are really good. And I heard that the lefty croquetas are the best. The Luis Sosa and Magdiel Esteves ones. Those are really good.
I heard in this, though, there's also some Marcelo Rodriguez croqueticas.
Rodriguez makes a good croqueta.
Rios from Columbus makes some really good ones. Excellent. Over there.
And you got to try the Dominican croquetas from our friend Alfred Rosario and Isaac Vidal. They make a very special.
Yeah, those Dominicans, they know how to make them real good.
Welcome back to Fort Myers, everyone. Top of the second inning, where Kevin Roque struck out 2 out of the 3 batters in that bottom of the first in a scoreless game. 7, 8, and 9 are due up for the Hawks of Miami Springs. Jordan Torres will lead off the top of the second. He'll be followed by Austin Argote. And they're all going to face Tyler Reeder, who gets the first one over for a strike. Reeder gets his sign from Chandler behind the plate. He kicks and deals. Swung on and hit foul to the left side by Torres. Quickly 2 strikes on the Hawks' second baseman. David Fanshaw, he brought his team here. He's the head coach of the Hawks. He brought his team here in 2019, and he vowed to be back. And here he is, where Reeder takes his time. Finally, he comes set, kicks and deals to Torres, and that's low and away, taken for a ball to make the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. The big righty, the Vikings pitcher, does take his time. Once he gets the ball, he's not as quick as Roque on the mound, but he kicks and deals, and here's the 1-2, and that one's lifted to the right side. And this is a huge ballpark, but not big enough to hold that foul ball that goes into the stands on the right side. Nobody out, top of the second in a scoreless Class 3A semifinal game in the FHSAA State Championship. The mighty Vikings of Bishop Verot are facing our very own Golden Hawks of Miami Springs. 1-2 strike pitch to Torres, and that one gets a piece of him in the elbow. And the Hawks are going to have a leadoff runner on here in the top of the second inning for their right fielder, Austin Argote. I wish I had his walk-up song. It's called Heartache Medication. No walk-up songs here. And the music is only in the background. It's not in the foreground, but Argote steps in with nobody out. Torres on first. Reader looks at him, and that one's outside. Well, he does throw hard, but he's having a hard time locating that strike zone today for the Vikings. Appreciate all of you that are listening to us on YouTube. The chats are open. Ricardo Perez says, Dímelo, Mugs. That ball's up high. Ricardo Perez is the father of Jan Perez, the junior. Well, he's not a junior no more. He'll be a senior next year for the St. Brendan's Sabres. And those Sabres, they faced the Golden Hawks. They got beat, but they gave them a good game. In fact, the Sabres faced these Springs in the finals to get here. So the 3A fans down in Miami are keeping an eye on this game. The count goes 2-1 to Argote, with Torres taking a modest lead on first base. Reader kicks and deals from the stretch, and that one goes off Chandler's chest. Torres is going to cruise into second base, even though he slides head first. Count's going to be 3-1 now to Argote, but the Springs Hawks, 2 consecutive innings, they have a runner in scoring position. And that's what you want. You want traffic on the bases against these Bishop Verot Vikings. Voy a tratar de vez en cuando hablar en español para nuestros oyentes en Miami. Reader's pitch is just inside for ball 4. Ahorita los Hawks de Miami Springs, que son los visitantes, estamos en la parte de la entrada del segundo inning. Nadie ha anotado, está 0-0 el juego. Hay corredores en primera y segunda base para los Hawks, y el center field viene a batear, que se llama Justin Mercado, y él también batea a la zurda. Y después de él viene el primer bate, el catcher Kelvin Pereira. Y estamos en vivo, pero solamente con el audio. En el audio, pero sí lo puedes escribir en YouTube, hacer un comentario, como ha hecho Ricardo Pérez, el papá de Jan Perez. Okay, Mercado squares the bunt. He pops that one foul back. So quickly a strike to Mercado. Victor Escobar says that Jonathan Acosta is the best shortstop in Dade County. And you know what? I want to agree. But there's a guy named Brandon Lorenzo that's pretty damn good too. So Jonathan Acosta is going to be a North Florida commit. He's already committed, and he's a senior, so he'll be an Osprey next year. He's going to love Jacksonville. And I love number 7. I love left-handed hitting shortstop, and he's all hands, got a great arm, and he hits the ball. Mercado bunts again, and that one goes foul. So 2 strikes to Mercado. Actually, that was an out because he bunted again with 2 strikes. So Mercado first out of the inning. And we're going to have a mound visit. And I think that's going to be it for Tyler Reeder. Boy, and that's big news here from Fort Myers. He's supposed to be their ace, their hard thrower. And these two teams, they faced each other in the beginning of the season. And Verot threw everybody at Springs except Reeder. They were kind of saving Reeder, maybe looking forward to this game. But now they're going to bring in other pitchers that maybe the Springs has taken a look at them before. Maybe he's seen them before. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll tell you who the pitcher is now for it. He's number 9. I got to look him up here in the roster sheet. And for that, I'm going to need some glasses. But number 9 for Bishop Verot is Blake Lavinia. So Blake is coming in for Tyler. And that was kind of all of a sudden. I hope there's nothing wrong with him. Lavenia. That could be how you pronounce it. Lavenia, Lanvia. Lavenia, they're telling me. Okay, so we're going to go with Lavenia is the new pitcher for the Bishop Verot Vikings. Nope, just lost the camera there. All right, so after the warm-up pitches, got Kelvin Pereira that's stepping into the box right now for the Golden Hawks of Miami Springs to face the new pitcher, Blake Lavenia. All right, we're back. Lavenia from the stretch with runners on first and second base from the Hawks, and his first pitch, a check swing, taken for a strike. We're in the top of the second inning in a scoreless game with one out. And the leadoff batter is up. He flew out to left field his first time up. And Ayers caught it in foul territory. And here's the pitch from, and that one gets away from Chandler. Both runners are going to advance. And another opportunity here for the Golden Hawks to put one on the board and score first and maybe win first. It's a game of firsts. Chat line is open. Blake Lavenia is a right-handed pitcher. He's from the stretch with runners on second and third for the catcher, who takes one low and away. 2-1 the count, and the Vikings pitchers, both of them having a hard time finding the strike zone. Lavenia gets a ball. No, that's 3-1 now, the count to Pereira. I was reading a text here from head coach of the Killian Cougars, good friend Chris Leon. And he says that his shortstop is the best one that he's seen since George Lombard Jr. And that's ball 4 to Pereira, and that's going to load the bases. Getting back to Jonah Acosta, the shortstop for the Killian Cougars. And he's as consistent, as smooth with the glove. He's an athlete. I mean, I've seen him make some really acrobatic catches over there on first base, the way he contorts and twists his body. And I can't wait to see him in an Osprey uniform up in North Florida next spring. So a walk to Pereira leaves the bases loaded now for the left-handed hitting Magdiel Estevez. So Torres moves over to third. Argotes at second. And a swing and a miss at one, kind of low out of the strike zone for Estevez, the left-handed batting Estevez. 1 out, scoreless game, but that I got a feeling that's going to change sometime soon here, the next few minutes, next few seconds. Blake Lavinia doesn't throw anywhere as hard as the starter did, Reeder. And that one's hit so far, he's way ahead of that one. That one almost went into the Springs dugout on the right side here at Hammond Stadium. Quickly 0-2 to the left fielder, the lefty, Magdiel Estevez. Nick wants to know what was Tyler's final pitch count. Unfortunately, the scoreboard here at Hammond Stadium doesn't have a pitch count. You'd probably have to go to one of the apps to do that. Maybe Game Changer. Boy, that got a piece of Estevez, and it sure did. That's going to be the first run for Miami Springs on a hard one inside off of his thigh. Estevez makes his way down to first base. Torres is going to score the first run for the Miami Springs Golden Hawks, and the bases are going to remain loaded. Chandler, the catcher, goes out to talk to his pitcher, Blake Lavinia. And just like that, the Golden Hawks are on the board. Argote goes over to third. Courtesy runner for Pereira. Let me get the binoculars out here, see who that is. Could be Alvarez. I can't see his number from here, not even with the binoculars. Roydan Perez is the batter. And the first pitch is low and inside. 4-ball. Bases are juiced with Golden Hawks with 1 out in the top of the first inning. One and 0 to the right-handed hitting shortstop, Roydan Perez. Perez had a game against San Brendan's where he had 4 hits. He ripped the cover off the ball in the iMatter series in the regional. And he also hit well against Pace in the semifinal. Nice run so far for the Golden Hawks. The Vikings of Bishop Verot were heavily favored coming into this game. And the control problems continue. That ball's low and taken for a strike, and the count goes 2-0 to the shortstop, Roydan Perez. Pitcher kicks and deals, and finally a strike comes over. Lavenia from the stretch. He kicks and deals, and the 3-1 pitch is inside. Oh, no, it's called a strike to Perez to fill up the count. Perez was a quarter of the way up the line. Lavenia kicks and deals. And that one's a called strike 3. Way outside. Perez throws his arms up. Coach Dominguez goes out there and grabs him before he gets thrown out of the game like we saw at the Matter game. Esponda got thrown out of that game for arguing balls and strikes. And, well, he called one on the inside corner for strike 2. And this one looked like it was outside off the plate. And that got him for strike 3. Gonzalez steps in now with 2 outs. And the base is loaded. Swing and a miss on that pitch from Blake Lavinia. By the way, the courtesy runner is Andres Suarez. He's on second base running for Pereira. 0-1. A check swing. Dropped by Chandler. And that might have influenced the call. It was a ball. 1-1 with 2 outs in the top of the second in a 1-0 semifinal for Class 3A. It'll be a little disappointing for the Hawks if they can only get 1 run. They chased the starter. They've had bases loaded. They haven't been able to hit the ball. That was an easy take for Gonzalez. It short hops Chandler, the catcher. And the count goes to 2-1 on a warm, blistering, hot. And we're getting messages from you guys all over the place. Jonathan Acosta, Jonah's listening. And that one's taken outside to bring it to 3-1. And Jonah says, Coach Lyon is the best coach out there, 100%. And boy, he took that Cougar team this year to places where only he and his coaching staff knew they were going to go. Gonzalez calls time, and it's granted to him right in the middle of the windup from Blake Lavenia. Lavenia comes set from the stretch. He kicks and deals way outside. An easy take for Gonzalez. Run number 2 for the Golden Hawks of Miami Springs. And that's going to bring up the first baseman, Darian Soto. Argote scores. Alvarez, who's running for Pereira, goes over to third base. Estevez is standing on second base. Gonzalez is on first. And I'll tell you, the longer the Bishop Verot pitcher, Blake Lavenia, stands out there on that hot mound, it looks like he's melting. He looks like a Crayola crayon. He's almost going to lose his colors in a minute. Soto steps in from the right side and quickly swings at the first pitch and fouls it straight back. 2-0. It's exactly what the doctor ordered. Marcus Bradley says Jonathan Acosta is the best player in Dade County. Man, a lot of fans for Acosta. Lavenia's pitch is swung on and hit foul to the right side, and that's going to be a souvenir. And if you come to Hammond Stadium and you happen to catch a foul ball, you can keep them here. It's not like our regular season games where they have the JV guys running all over the place. You can actually keep these. Quickly 0-2 to Soto. Like we mentioned, Douglas, the Eagles already won their 5th state championship. St. Thomas has one, Matter has one, and the Springs is looking for one themselves. That one's low and away for a called ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs in the top of the second inning. And it's 2-0 in favor of the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. Blake Lavenia kicks and he deals, and that one's in the same spot, about a foot off the plate to the right-handed batting first baseman Soto. The DH Tyler Ancheta is on deck. Darian walked his first time up. If he walks this time, it'll be run number 3 for the Hawks. Lavenia comes set. He kicks and deals and swung on and missed for a croqueta. The Golden Hawks are going to leave 3 runners on base, but they're going to get 2. And we're going to head to the bottom of the second with your score 2-0 from Hammond Stadium in Fort Myers for the Class 3A FHSAA State Championship. And you're listening to Uncle Muggs. We'll be right back, y'all. So today I have the honor to give out the very first FSPI award to a junior who very well deserves it. This guy hit over 365. He had 35 hits, 31 RBIs. He was consistent as heck at third base defensively, like you wouldn't believe. He was a leader on this team. When they asked him to play another position, he says, no problem, buddy, I'm going to do my best. I want to give this award to Yodeki Quevedo, Junior Player of the Year. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. All right, I want to give you this award. It's the first one, and hopefully one day you will be an answer to a trivia question that who received the first FSPI, and it was this guy right here. So if you could do me the honor, and please, sácamela, Yodeki.
There it is, the Junior Player of the Year, Yodeki Quevedo, the very first ESPY. And once again, you guys, thank you very much. Parents, everybody involved, thank you for that. Diago, papi. Diago.
Sácame la mugs.
All right, guys, thank you once again. Uncle Muggs here from the state championships and the FHSAA finals.
Welcome back, everyone, to FSPN's live audio coverage. And we begin the bottom of the second inning with the fourth, fifth, and sixth batters for the home team on the scoreboard, the Bishop Verot Vikings. And they have Owen Rardin, Nick Raber, and Brody Baxman are all going to face the quick working Kevin Roque. It's already 1-1 to count. Roque kicks and deals. That one's just a bit outside, but boy, had some good velocity on that one. 2-1 to count to the shortstop for these Vikings. Roque kicks, and that one catches the inside corner. And the umpire's been pretty consistent with that inside corner, but he went way outside on Perez's at bat. Roque's pitch swung on. Croquetica number 3. Boy, and here we thought that Reeder was going to come out here, the Vikings pitcher, and just dominate. We've heard he threw 95 miles an hour and all this. And right now the story has been 3 croquetas to the first 4 batters. So he must have brought some of those special croquetas with him from Miami Springs. And he starts off with a ball outside to Nick Raber, the first baseman for the Vikings. 2-0 now to Raber. Roque's a quick worker. I know I said it before, but that's 3 balls. And none of them close to the plate. They've all been outside. Pereira tried to frame that one. Here's the 3-0 with 1 out. Bottom of the second to Raber. Takes that one for a strike. I'd like to see what the odds are at 3-0 count. How many times a pitcher throws a 3-0 strike? It's got to be up in the 80%. And that one's way outside again. And maybe something going on with mechanics. But he's leaving everything outside, and the Vikings are going to get a runner on first base with 1 out. And that's going to bring up the right fielder, wearing number 33, batting from the left side, Brody Baxman. Roque from the stretch. Takes a look at Raber, comes home for a strike, 1 called. Big lead over there on first base by Raber. And that one catches the outside corner for a strike, 2. Quickly working is Roque. He comes set, he fires, and that one gets a piece of Brody Baxman. Just nicked him inside. I mean, he didn't get out of the way either. He just left his elbow out there, and that caught a piece of his elbow, and Baxman is making his way down to first base now with 1 out. And Pereira's coming out, and he puts his arm around Roque. And like I said, Kelvin Pereira is another coach on the field. He knows mechanics. He knows the pitcher's tendencies just like a coach does. And he's gone out there and talked to him a couple times. And during the season, I've talked to Kevin Roque, and he says that he relies on Pereira a lot to keep him in check. So Pereira comes out there, and he's going to face Carter Chandler, the catcher. Takes the first pitch for a strike. 1 out, bottom of the second in a 2-0 game. Only 1 hit for Springs, but they have 2 runs thanks to a couple walks. Here's Roque's pitch, and that swung on and fouled straight back. Quickly, the count goes 0-2 to the catcher, Carter Chandler, and the left fielder, Nico Ayers, is on deck for the home team, the Vikings of Bishop Verot. So Roque tends to pitch just a little bit slower from the stretch, maybe taking his time. That ball's taken high and inside. The count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes to the catcher. When there's nobody on base, Roque seems to get the ball and just fire it back in. But when he's coming from the stretch, he kind of digs his front foot in, and here's the pitch. And it's croquetica time. That's 4 croquetas and a big one here with 2 runners on in the bottom of the second. And nothing's changed from the Kevin Roque we've seen over there by Okeechobee Road. He throws croquetas up here in Fort Myers too. So he brought that recipe with him. 4 croquetas. And Nico Ayers steps in from the right side to face Roque from the stretch. Quickly swings at the first pitch, and it's popped up to Darian Soto on the right side of the infield, and he makes the third out. The Vikings are going to lead 2. They get none. We head to the top of the third inning with your score 2-0 in favor of the Golden Hawks from Fort Myers, Hammond Stadium. You're watching FSPN, and it's the FHSAA Class 3A State Championship. We'll be right back right after this. Well, Chappie, before we get into the recap, some of the pitchers from around the league were giving out so many croquetas, and they were nice enough to send us some. These right here are some special Miami Springs croquetas from Kevin Roque. These are delicious. You got to try the Andy Espinoza croquetas. Those are really good. And I heard that the lefty croquetas are the best. The Luis Sosa and Magdiel Estevez ones. Those are really good.
I heard in this, though, there's also some Marcelo Rodriguez croquetas.
Rodriguez makes a good croqueta.
Rios from Columbus makes some really good ones over there.
And you got to try the Dominican croquetas from our friend Alfred Rosario and Isaac Vidal. They make a very special.
Yeah, those Dominicans, they know how to make them real good.
Uncle Muggs back here in Fort Myers in Hammond Stadium for the Class 3A semifinal between the Bishop Verot Vikings and the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. I want to remind everybody to watch us this Sunday morning inside the park. It's going to be a special state championship edition as well as the FESPIs. And if you watch one of those commercials, one of those FESPIs were given away already. We gave one to Yodekis Quevedo, and he deserved it, the junior. Played a couple different positions this year, hit over 365, had 3 home runs, 31 RBIs, 35 hits, something like that. He had a tremendous year, and no complaints there on that pick. We're probably going to give Pitcher of the Year later today to Kevin Roque. It's a no-doubter there. But stick around for Sunday's show. It ought to be fun. Anthony Chappie Castillo, and myself, we have a great time bringing you all the news and the highlights from this week in high school baseball. Top of the third inning, Taylor Ancheta steps in for the Golden Hawks to face the right-handed pitching Blake Lavenia. Lavenia from the full windup. First pitch outside to the left-handed hitting Taylor Ancheta. Blake kicks and deals, and that one's low and away. Super easy take there when the ball's on the ground. Quickly 2-0. And the story with the Verot starting pitcher has been simply they can't put the ball over the plate. They throw really hard. They look really nice in those uniforms. But 3-0 now to Archeta. Audio-only broadcast of the Miami Springs Golden Hawks semifinal game in Fort Myers. 3-1 now the count to Taylor Archeta. He'll be followed by Jordan Torres, the second baseman, and then it's Austin Argote, the right fielder. They're all going to face Lavenia, who kicks and deals. Catches, missed outside. So a leadoff runner for the Golden Hawks. Taylor Archeta makes it happen here in the top of the third inning with a walk. And that has been the story here. 3 walks issued, and now we're having a mound visit. They're yanking the ball from the right-hander. We're going to have a new pitcher for the Vikings. And, everybody's available in these playoff, it could be your last game. So everybody on the bench, everybody's available to pitch and coming into the game right now. I'll have to get the binoculars out for this one. He's wearing number 8. You go to my lineup card here, number 8 for the Vikings. Tell you in a second. Actually, this is Blake Lavinia. My bad. Lavinia is now coming in. The previous was Boston Selig. He was the previous pitcher. I kept calling him Lavinia the whole time. So I guess I was calling him in subconsciously. So Lavinia is now the pitcher. Blake Lavinia, no doubt about that. Number 8 on the scorecard, number 8 on his uniform. And he's got about 2 more warm-up pitches to go. On a warm, a little bit cloudy afternoon today. The first 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, were all cloudless days. Took a break yesterday, headed over to Sanibel Island. And now we're back at Hammond Stadium here at the Lee County Sports Complex in Fort Myers for the Class 3A FHSAA State Championships. And almost nothing has gone according to plan here. I guess we all knew that Douglas was going to win their 5th, and they did. But a surprise was St. Thomas, and they came out and won that. And, I don't know how many people had them, but they did beat a good team, and so did Mater Academy Lions. They didn't face the number 1 seed Lincoln because they got beat by Wesley Chapel, but Mater did beat a good Fort Myers team, the Green Wave. And then they beat Wesley Chapel 6-1 in the final game. Now with a runner on first base. And there's a bunt by Torres to the right side of the mound. Lavinia picks it up and he throws off of the base. But Nick Raber was able to grab it and tag Torres as he ran by. But Torres did his job, and David Fanshaw playing some small ball here in the early game and getting his runners over. So a sac bunt for 1 out is going to bring the right-handed hitting right fielder Austin Argote, and he'll be followed by the 9th batter Justin Mercado. So now that we have Blake Lavinia on the mound for real, he's a tall, lanky, right-handed pitcher. He comes to his chest, takes a look at the runner at second, peeks at him again, and there's a hard hit ball to left field. And there goes Ayers going back. He has a beat on it, makes the catch, though, way in the gap. A nice catch by Nico Ayers in left center field to rob a double from Austin Argote. And that's going to bring up Mercado with 2 outs. And a runner on second base here in the top of the 3rd inning. Base hit will get you a run. You want to see some production from the bottom of your lineup, and Argote had a base hit earlier. Torres scored a run. He's on second base right now. And here comes the left field umpire. And he's making his way back behind the mound. And the umpire that was there is now going down the first base line. So a little break in the action here at Hammond Stadium. Okay, Lavinia finally comes set. He kicks and deals, and that one's low for a ball. Lavinia's looking down at his wrist to get the batter's tendency. Takes a peek over at second base. It looks at Ancheta. And that one swung on, hit hard, but foul down the first base line. The left-handed hitting Mercado got ahead of that one. And that would have got by Raber over there if it was maybe a little bit more fair. Now Raber's guarding the line. Take away any double. This is the Class 3A FHSAA semifinal game. The winner here will face South Walton. Have some good 4A games coming up later today as well. We have a 4 o'clock game with Tampa Jesuit, and then American Heritage plays at 7 o'clock. That ball swung on and missed by Mercado, and the count goes 1-2 to the center fielder with 2 out in the top of the 3rd inning in a 2-0 game. We ask you that you please subscribe and follow us on YouTube. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed, and a croquetica for Lavinia. And that's going to end the top of the 3rd inning. We're going to head to the bottom of the 3rd in a 2-0 game from Hammond Stadium here in the FHSAA Class 3A semifinal. And you're listening to Uncle Muggs on FSPN. We'll be right back, folks. Well, Chappie, before we get into the recap, some of the pitchers from around the league were giving out so many croquetas, and they were nice enough to send us some. These right here are some special Miami Springs croquetas from Kevin Roque. These are delicious. You got to try the Andy Espinoza croquetas. Those are really good. And I heard that the lefty croquetas are the best. The Luis Sosa and Magdiel Estevez ones. Those are really good.
I heard in this, though, there's also some Marcelo Rodriguez croqueticas.
Rodriguez makes a good croqueta.
Rios from Columbus makes some really good ones over there.
And you got to try the Dominican croquetas from our friend Alfred Rosario and Isaac Vidal. They make a very special.
Yeah, those Dominicans, they know how to make them real good.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the bottom of the 3rd inning from Hammond Stadium in the Lee County Sports Complex in Fort Myers for the Class 3A FHSAA semifinal game. Kevin Roque still on the mound, and why not? He's got 4 croquetas. He's going to face the DH, the last batter, and Jake Sedemac. And he starts Jake off with a ball up high. Then it'll be the center fielder, the leadoff batter, Grayson Carpenter, for the home team, the Vikings. And there's a nice fastball, catches the outside corner. And Roque pitches really fast, so I might not get to some of these messages that we're getting. Keep them coming, guys. We're going to get to them. Wow, and that one catches his second hit batter. Man, Roque lost it a little bit inside and caught him square in the back. So to start off the bottom of the 3rd inning with a dead ball is not good, because now you have the top of the lineup in Carpenter, who flew out to right field the last time. But then Braylon Sheffield and Joey Lawson both ate croquetas, so we're going to need some more croquetas being distributed here. So Ricardo Perez, he's a mainstay on the program. Well, let's get to Roque, who kicks and deals, and that one's first pitch swung and lifted to the right side and foul. Somebody gets to keep a souvenir. You get to keep them here. Saludos desde Cancun. Oh, one of our listeners is in Cancun. Here's the 0-1. Inside and low. Evens the count at 1-1. Yeah, I'm going to have to go over these when Kevin Roque's not pitching, because he's just too quick. Too quick. Now he comes set at the waist. He's from the stretch. He takes a peek at Sedemac on first base. And that one goes over for a strike. Count goes to 1-2 strikes on the Vikings center fielder, Grayson Carpenter. And he'll face Braylon Sheffield. And please write if he's related to the Gary Sheffield clan. I know they're from the west coast of Florida. He could be. That ball's lifted to the right side. Soto's coming over to give it a look. He comes all the way to the dugout, and that one just goes foul. We'll do the 1-2 all over again. I mean, Sheffield from Fort Myers, Tampa area. I mean, that's where Gary Sheffield is from. George Roca is riding us. He's the coach at Belém. And he's also the father of the senior Saber, Brandon Roca. And here's Roque's pitch. And that one's taken high to even the count at 2-2. George Roca says Austin Argote is the best kept secret on that team. Dude is a beast, and I have to agree with the heartache medication guy in right field. The check swing, did he go around? They're going to check with the umpire in first base, and he says, yes, he did. And that's going to be Croquetica number 5, or should I say Roquetica number 5 for Kevin Roque, because Kevin Roque's croquetas are called roquetas. And he's issued 5 of them to these Vikings, and they seem to like them. They like the croquetas. Runner on first base here, bottom of the third, 2-0 game. From the left side is Braylon Sheffield. Sheffield takes Roque's pitch low and inside for ball 1. You guys are being really active on the chat. Carolina Lage, I'm going to get to you in a second. But here's Roque from the stretch to Sheffield. And that catches the outside corner. Much to Sheffield's disbelief, he shook his head and looked at the umpire in a funny way there. Count is 1-1 to the second baseman for the Vikings. Another check swing. That one just missed the plate on the outside. Count goes to 2-1, and the quick working Roque gets the ball back from Estevez. And boy, before you can step out of the box, he's already got his glove on his waist, and he's ready to go. Sedemick on first base, and he just got juped. That one's hit foul to the left side, but out of play. And even though it's a hot day, Bishop Verot is only, like 6 or 7 miles from here. And they've got over 200 fans out here. I mean, they're packing the house. 2-2 the count to Sheffield, the second baseman with a runner on. Kevin Roque on the bump on a hot day from Fort Myers. He comes set, he digs in, takes a peek, he kicks and deals, and that one's hit high, but that one looks like it's got more room. Third baseman goes over. Gonzalez is fighting the sun, and he makes a catch behind his back in foul territory for a huge second out here in the bottom of the third inning. Boy, and that was one that he had to circle that one. There was sun involved. The wind has started to kick up a little bit. It's up to like 10 miles an hour coming across now. It was blowing straight out to center field, but now it's coming from left to right across Hammond Stadium. And I'll tell you, he had to battle the wind, battle the sun. He circled that ball a couple times, and he was able to come up with the second out of the inning. And I'm talking about Jordani Gonzalez and his teammate to the left of him, Roy Dan Perez, is also an excellent defender. For a shortstop, I believe he has a .966 fielding percentage, and that's great for a high school shortstop. Joey Lawson, the big bopper for the Vikings, steps in with 2 out and a runner on. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner, and he's a right-handed hitter for strike 1. Roque takes a peek at Sedemac at first, and that one's way outside. Easy take, evens the count at 1-1. Steves is playing Lawson almost in Naples. He's way out there. So is Mercado in center field and Argote in right field. I can barely see these guys. I need some binoculars. That ball's fouled straight back for strike 2. Tons of room. You can imagine a major league ballpark. 405 to center field. Roque comes set. He gets a sign from Estevez. And there goes Sedemac. The ball swung on, the pitch is swung on and hit foul, so Sedemac's going to have to come back to first base. And Roque looking for his 6th croqueta. I was texting with him yesterday. They were on the way on the bus from Miami Springs, and I asked him, how many croquetas did you bring with you? And he says 10. I go, well, bring 12. We're going to need maybe 12. Roque pitches. And croquetica number 6. The Roquetero from Miami Springs Another 2 strikeouts. The Vikings are going to leave 1 on base. We head to the top of the 4th inning with your score 2-0. And you're listening to Uncle Muggs from Fort Myers in the Class 3A FHSAA State Tournament. And we'll be right back.
South Florida high school baseball fans, this one's for you. Every Sunday at 6 a.m., grab your coffee and get ready for the most entertaining, informative, and downright hilarious recap of the week in high school baseball. Hosted by Anthony Chappie Castillo and Brian Uncle Muggs Gonzalez, this show covers all the action from the past week. Big hits, game-saving plays, standout moments, and more. Check out the Player Spotlight, where we sit down with some of South Florida's top talent and get to know the stars behind the stats. Then swing by the Coach's Corner, where we interview local head coaches and dive into their strategy, leadership, and the heart of the game. And don't miss your chance to be part of the show. We feature fan interaction via Instagram, so send us your hot takes, questions, and shout-outs. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay in the loop and help us grow this incredible baseball community. Every play, every player, every Sunday. This is the South Florida High School Baseball Recap Show. Don't miss it.
All right, welcome back, high school baseball fans, to Lee County Sports Complex, site of the FHSAA Class 3A semifinal. The Miami Springs send up their leadoff batter, the catcher to the plate, Pereira, who takes the first pitch from Lavinia down low for ball 1. Lavinia's from the full windup, wearing those beautiful white uniforms. That one's a little low, taken for a ball. And Lavinia's a quick worker, trying to get to these messages that everybody's sending me from YouTube, and I appreciate it. We're going to get to a bunch of them. Right now, the story has been, and that one swung on and hit up high. The catcher has a chance for it. Chandler turns around. He's battling the wind and the sun, and he dives and makes a catch. Another excellent catch from the catcher in foul territory right behind home plate for the first out of the inning. Magnificent catch from the catcher, Chandler. Boy, he had to fight the sun and the wind. And let's get to some of these. Estevez is making his way up to the plate for the Golden Hawks, and he doubled his first time up in the first inning. And he's coming up to face the right-handed pitching Blake Lavinia. First pitch swinging, and he hits a ground ball to the first baseman, Raber, who takes it himself for the second out of the inning. First pitch swinging there. So 3 unassisted, 2 outs now in the top of the 4th inning. And Victor Escobar says Kaiser Alvarez is the best pitcher from Miami Springs. All right, Victor. I don't know if you've been watching any of the FSPN games, but they got a couple good ones. I'm not saying Kaiser Alvarez is not good, because he's good. Oh, boy, they got Estevez and Roque, a 2-headed monster. Now up to the plate is Roy Dan Perez, and he's not wasting any time. Swings at the first pitch, hits it foul to the right side. It's hard for me to get to a lot of these messages, and I'm getting a lot of them. Victor Escobar says, appreciate the love, Mr. Acosta. Talking about Jonah, the shortstop. And that's a check swing, and it's going to the right side. The first baseman picks it up unassisted, Nick Raber. And that's going to end the inning very quickly. The top of the 4th goes by, and nothing across the board for the Hawks. We're going to head to the bottom of the 4th with your score 2-0 from Hammond Stadium here in Fort Myers. You're listening to FSPN in the 3A FHSAA semifinal.
So today I have the honor to give out the very first FSPI award to a junior who very well deserves it. This guy hit over 365. He had 35 hits, 31 RBIs. He was consistent as heck at third base defensively, like you wouldn't believe. He was a leader on this team. When they asked him to play another position, he says, no problem, buddy, I'm going to do my best. I want to give this award to Yodeki Quevedo, Junior Player of the Year. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. All right, I want to give you this award. It's the first one, and hopefully one day you will be an answer to a trivia question that who received the first Vespi, and it was this guy right here. So if you could do me the honor and please, sácame la Yodeki. There it is, the Junior Player of the Year, Yodeki Quevedo, the very first ESPY. And once again, you guys, thank you very much. Parents, everybody involved, thank you for that. Diago, papi. Diago.
Sácame la Mugs.
All right, guys, thank you once again. Uncle Muggs here from the state championships and the FHSAA finals.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that one. I laugh every time I see that. Yodekis is such a humble kid, and he so deserves that. And my hat's off to the entire Matter Academy franchise over there. All right, Owen Padilla steps in for the Vikings in the bottom of the fourth inning in the Class 3A FHSAA Championship semifinal. Owen Rardon, he's the shortstop for the Vikings. He swings at the first pitch and hits it back. And watch out for my colleagues down the road. I think that might have made it inside the HFSN Network's booth. So quickly, one strike, and here comes Roque again. Throws that one inside to even the count. Rardon struck out his first time up. Here's Roque's pitch, and that swung on and lifted high to the infield. Perez is calling for it. Gonzalez kind of wanted it, but no, that one right straight to Perez for the first out of the inning. Nice low pitch count now for Kevin Roque, and he's going to face Nick Raber, the first baseman. He's been busy over there at first base, and Nick Raber is a right-handed batter. He's a big boy wearing number 13. He's going to face Roque here with one out in the bottom of the fourth. Roque kicks and deals, and that one swung on and fouled straight back. Well, these guys are aggressive. I mean, both teams, they swing at a lot of first pitches. And I know the numbers are there. But look, Roque's working so fast that Raber got in the box, and he was already ready, and he had to call time. It was given to him. Now we're going to set up again. Here comes Roque's pitch. High and tight, an easy take for Raber. Goes up around the chin. Roque gets his sign from Estevez behind the plate. I'm sorry, Pereira behind the plate, my bad. Swung on and fouled straight back again. Boy, those guys are getting beat up over there at HSBN. 2 strikes, 1 ball to the big first baseman. Wide stance, batting from the right side. And a comebacker right over the mound. It's going to sneak past Torres and Perez. It goes right over the bag, right over the mound. A seeing eye single there for a base hit. And with 1 out, the Vikings will have a runner on first base for the right fielder, Brody Baxman. Was that the first hit? That was the first hit of the game for the Vikings. How do you like that? Top of the fourth inning. I guess they were too busy eating croquetas. They couldn't hit the ball. Eating croquetas in one hand. You got batting gloves in the other hand. It's hard to hit the ball. All right, Brody Baxman, the right fielder, hitting from the right side, from the left side. He's a lefty playing right field. Boy, this happened to me with Brian Fernandez the other day. When I have a left-handed batting right fielder, I get tongue-tied. And there's a ball looked at for the first pitch to the left-handed batting right fielder. And we're going to have a mound visit by assistant coach for the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. And I want to let's go over some of these messages, and I want to remind everybody to watch Inside the Park. This is going to be a good one. Jordan Young on our message board here on YouTube is saying, where'd it go? Shout out to Darian Goris from Pace. High five, great player and great teammate. Norberto Fernandez says, let's go Hawks. ZXY Noah, Jordan Young, and Darian Goris, great players from Pace. Shout out to Jordan Young and Goris. Uncle Muggs, what high school did you go to? I am a proud Coral Park Ram, 1986, two-time district champions. When you had to play two times your teams in your district back in the day. All right. One out. The left-handed batting Brady Baxman, the right fielder, takes a ball called. So it's 3-0 the count. Bottom of the fourth inning. The Vikings trying to get something going here. Roque from the stretch takes a peek at Baxman. And there's that 3-0 percentage. He throws one over for a strike. I'd love to get a stat on that. 3-0, how many times they throw it over for a strike. Well, here's the 3-1. Roque kicks and deals, and that one's lifted high to the left side of the infield. Perez goes back. He calls off Estevez. He calls off Gonzalez. He makes the second out of the inning in shallow left field. Boy, the Vikings really haven't been able to get anything going. They haven't had a runner past second base. They're too busy eating croquetas and looking good in those uniforms. Chandler, the catcher, steps in from the right side to face Roque here with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth inning. Croquetas must be good. Gene Michael Cueto says, "Sácamela, Kramer." Kramer's not even playing. First pitch inside to the catcher. Chandler's taken for a ball. Daniel Rojas says, "Muggs, where do you get your croquetas?" Roque comes set. He kicks and deals that one inside, almost in the same spot. Well, I got Sergio's right by my house, so I go to Sergio's for my croquetas. But if I had to drive a little bit, I'm going to go to Isla Canarias and get the ones that have all the little chives inside. And I like the chicken ones. I don't like the jamon ones. So it's either Sergio's or Isla Canaria. All right, 2-0 pitch to Chandler. Roque comes set. He takes a peek at the runner on first, and that one's taken for a strike. The count goes 2-1 now. Nick Raber's the runner at first base with the sliding mitt and everything. I don't think he's going anywhere because it looks like he's been eating some croquetas. Está un poquitico gordito. Wow, 3-1 the count. That didn't miss by much. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, I do my own sound effects. 3-1 the count with a runner on, 2 outs, bottom of the fourth. Short hop, ball 4. ¿Qué hace calor, caballero? Acaba de darle una base por bola a Kevin Roque al catcher. Y ahora van a tener un courtesy runner porque hace mucho calor para que los catchercitos estén corriendo y después se visten de catcher y están sudando mucho ahí atrás. Entonces cuando llegan a las bases los catchers le dan un corredor de cortesía. Y el corredor de los Vikings de Bishop Verot se llama Damián Villabril. Villabril viene a correr por el catcher y el bateador para los Vikings se llama Nico Ayares. Entonces hay 2 hombres en base, primera y segunda con 2 outs. Y Kevin Roque es el pitcher, el derecho, y se la tira bajita a Nico Ayers. So Nico takes the first ball low with runners on first and second. The Bishop Verot Vikings are threatening here with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. That pitch is up high for a ball, 2-1. Nico flew out to the first baseman his last time up. He'll be followed by Jake Sedemac. He's the final batter in the DH for the Vikings. And there's a strike called on the inside corner. Mercado's in center field. Estevez is in left field. And Austin Argote's in right field. And boy, they are playing deep. I've watched a few games here, and this is about as deep. And there's a strike taken on the outside corner. So with 2 outs, the count is 2-2. 2 on. Bottom of the fourth. Be nice to fry up a croqueta right here. Here's the 2-2 from Roque. Way inside. Count's going to go full. A lot of fans here from Bishop Verot. They're only a few miles away, so everybody must have skipped. Here's the payoff pitch. The runners are going. Oh, that one just misses outside. The bases are going to be loaded for the Vikings with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And I think that's going to make a visit. Going to get somebody warming up. I think I saw Oscar Hernandez, a relief pitcher, getting a little activated there, and he's making his way down. So Raber's on second base. Courtesy runners, Villabril, he's on second base. Nico Ayers is on first base, and your batter's Jake Cermak from the right side, and he's the DH to face Roque with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th, and the first pitch is a strike. Soto's at first base. He's playing behind the runner, of course, with 2 outs. Jordan Torres is out in the grass on second base. That one's just a little bit outside to go 1-1. Perez is playing kind of shallow at shortstop, but that's okay because this is a big league infield. So shallow here means like normal depth at Miami Springs, but Gonzalez is playing way back. He's almost in the left field grass. That one swung on and fouled straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded on a hot Monday afternoon in Fort Myers, and we're at a beautiful place. There's like 10 full major league fields. The Minnesota Twins use this for their spring training facility, and then they turn it over to the Fort Myers Mighty Muscles, and they have a great place here. I mean, they have there's bars all over the place. Of course, they're not selling alcohol now because it's a high school event, but this must be a great place to come and watch a single-A game. They've been on the road for 2 weeks, the Mighty Muscles, so they're coming back right after this series is over. Here's the payoff pitch. Wow, I wouldn't have eaten that one. That was close enough to be a croqueta, but the count goes 2-2. So that didn't miss by much. Roque taking his time now on the mound. And there's a hard hit ball to Perez. He dives and scoops it up. He goes over to second base to Torres on a spectacular play. Perez dove to his left-hand side. He bobbled the ball a little bit and was able to flick it backhand over to Torres, and Torres made the play, and the Vikings leave 3. They get 0. We head to the top of the 5th inning, and I smell an upset. It's 2-0 in favor of the Miami Springs Golden Hawks in a Class 3A FHSAA semifinal state game. And you're listening to FSPN. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. This is good.
South Florida high school baseball fans, this one's for you. Every Sunday at 6 a.m., grab your coffee and get ready for the most entertaining, informative, and downright hilarious recap of the week in high school baseball. Hosted by Anthony Chappie Castillo and Brian Uncle Muggs Gonzalez, this show covers all the action from the past week. Big hits, game-saving plays, standout moments, and more. Check out the Player Spotlight, where we sit down with some of South Florida's top talent and get to know the stars behind the stats. Then swing by the Coach's Corner, where we interview local head coaches and dive into their strategy, leadership, and the heart of the game. And don't miss your chance to be part of the show. We feature fan interaction via Instagram, so send us your hot takes, questions, and shout-outs. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay in the loop and help us grow this incredible baseball community. Every play, every player, every Sunday. This is the South Florida High School Baseball Recap Show. Don't miss it.
All right, welcome back to the top of the 5th inning. Gonzalez gets into the box for the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. And the first pitch is over for a ball. Taken. The Vikings are going to have their leadoff batter when they start off the bottom of this 5th inning, but right now it's the top of the 5th. Lavinia still in there, the right-handed pitcher for the Vikings. 2-0 the count to the Hawks' third baseman. He'll be followed by Darian Soto. There's one that's a little low, so 3-0. Then it'll be Taylor Ancheta. Jordani had a sacrifice in the first inning, and then he walked. And there's that 3-0 strike. We got to get a percentage on that. You statisticians out there, we need to work on that. And there's ball 4 to Gonzalez. So another leadoff runner here in the top of the 5th inning for the Golden Hawks of Miami Springs. It's going to bring up Soto from the right side. He's a right-handed hitter. And Kyle Fernandez on our chat, our live chat that we got going on YouTube. Fernandez says, Eliezer Martinez, Pitcher of the Year nominee 2026. I think we've done the 2026 nominees already. I have to check, Kyle. Oh, this is Kyle. Kyle, the lefty from Pace. That's right. And Gene Michael Cueto says, Muggs, what do you think about Victor Escobar's elite pitching skills? I'm like, who's Victor Escobar? I can't remember him. Oh, I remember him. And Victor says, where's Chappie? Chappie doesn't do road trips. Soto steps in with nobody out and a runner on first base to face Lavinia. The Hawks are hitting. The Vikings are on defense, and there he goes. Chopped up and a swinging bunt. It goes to the right side. He throws that one away. It gets away from the first baseman, and that one rolls into right center field, or right field. The throw home is high. So there goes Soto to second base. Jordani Gonzalez scores. Boy, that was a crazy play. Okay, swinging bunt by Soto. The throw, I mean, it was a beautiful bunt if he would have bunted it, but it was a swinging bunt to the right side of the mound. The pitcher picked it up. He threw high to the first baseman that's, rubbing his arm now because as he came down to tag the runner, it yanked the glove and everything off of him, and the ball went into right field. So Gonzalez came around to score, and then the throw was kind of high to the catcher and got away from everybody. So Darian Soto made his way to second base on a swinging bunt. I'm going to give him a hit. And now we have a mound visit, a meeting. We got all kinds of people out on the field from the Vikings. And this is a long meeting. I think maybe they're going to change the pitcher. No. All right, the umpires were discussing that, and everybody's safe. So the 3 are on the board with just 1 hit. Qué barbaridad. Caballero, no hay que batear para anotar carrera. Los Miami Springs Golden Hawks tienen 3 carreras y solamente 1 hit. Pero los Vikings tienen 2 errores. Y ahora el coach de los Vikings está hablando con los árbitros a ver qué pasó, pero se vio bien clarito. Soto le tiró a la pelota y salió como un bunt. A veces pasa. Tú le tiras duro la bola, pero sale así, chiquitico, así como un bunt. Y el pitcher la agarró, se la tiró a la primera base. Cuando la primera base se la tira un poquitico fuera de la base, él agarra la pelota y trata de ponerle el tag al corredor. Y el corredor se le lleva al brazo el guante y la pelota terminó en right field. González anotó y con el tiro Soto llegó a segunda. Y ahí es donde estamos ahora, 3-0 sin out. En la primera entrada del quinto inning. Y 3-0 y solamente han bateado 1 hit cada equipo. Y ahora viene Taylor Ancheta. Taylor Ancheta is the batter for the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. And he's batting from the right side. Left side, lefty batter. Righty pitcher in Lavinia. First pitch swinging, and he misses that one for strike 1. It's a couple of bang-bang plays. So the swinging bunt by by Darian Soto was up the line. Raber caught it, and he went to put a tag on him, but he was running. And there's one that swung on and fouled into the stand. So 0-2 quickly to the DH Ancheta. So when the first baseman, Nick Raber, had the ball in his glove, he tried to put the tag on Soto, but Soto just kind of got caught up with his glove, and next thing you know, the glove's flying, the ball's in right center field, and Gonzalez scored. And here we are, 3-1. Lavinia comes set, he takes a peek at him, and he delivers that one up high and inside. So 1 ball and 2 strikes with no outs to Taylor Ancheta. He's the DH, and he'll be followed by Jordan Torres, the second baseman for these Golden Hawks. And there's a hard hit ball to the right side, and that gets by Raber. And here comes Soto. There's going to be a play at the plate, but Soto with the speed scores the 4th run of the game for Miami Springs. Y Papa, do you smell an upset? I smell an upset. Oh my goodness. Se han complicado la cosa aquí. They chased their ace, Taylor Reeder. The Vikings of Bishop Verot brought this right-handed fire thrower, only lasted about an inning and a half, without getting a hit on him. Now that's the second hit of the game. Well, anyway, Reeder was gone. They brought in another pitcher. Now they have Blake Lavinia, and he's going to pitch to Jordan Torres in a 4-0 game. Ay, papá, who would have thunk it? Porque de verdad, let's be honest. Cuando la gente dijeron Bishop Verot, dijeron, wow, oh my God, Miami Springs doesn't have a chance. Ay, papá. Ancheta's on first base. 2 more across the board here in the top of the 5th inning. Oh my goodness, will this be another title for Dade County? David Fanshaw and his Golden Hawks bring home another ring to match Matter's ring, and the guys in Broward are holding it down. El único que perdió fue Brito, but so far Dade and Broward have been killing it. Here's the pitch, and it's taken for a strike to Jordan Torres, the second baseman. Ancheta's on first base. He gets looked at by Lavinia a couple times, actually staring him down. Now Lavinia kicks and deals, and that one's low. And a nice block behind the plate by Chandler. The count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Hawks second baseman. And now the Hawks fans, I guess, are starting to arrive. They're starting to work down towards the visitors' dugout. I could see all the maroon and yellow. And like I mentioned, Bishop Verot, están calladitos, but there's a lot of them. Pero ahora están calladitos. Swing and a miss by Torres. Actually fouled it back. And that's going to be a strikeout for Torres. But tons of Bishop Verot fans here from down the street. They're only about 6 miles away. Parece que todo el mundo está skipping. But there's a whole couple sections of them right there. Pero mira, no se oye nada. Están, mira, shh. Están súper calladitos esa gente. No dicen nada. ¿Qué van a decir? They got 1 hit and 2 errors. Argote steps in. Takes that one low. Andres Zayas says, shout out to David Puello, trainer from Miami Springs. Kelvin McDill from Daniel Zayas. Shout out there for the Springs trainer. That one's up high to Argote. The count goes 2-0 with 1 out. Top of the 5th in a 4-0 game. And the story has been not only Kevin Roker's croquetas, the inability of these Vikings pitchers to be effectively throwing the ball over the plate. Porque están bolón. They're all over the plate. Pueden tirar durísimo. Los uniformes son bellos. Si tú ves los uniformes, están blancos, con una negro, unas mediecitas amarillas, pero espectacular. Pero no pueden tirar strike. And that one almost catches Argote to fill up the count now. Sorry, goes to 3-1 with a runner on. And G. Michael Cueto, the Killian Cougar catcher DH, is writing us. He says, Muggs, how long would it take you to eat 6 or 7 croquetas? And there's a strike. Now the count's full to Argote. 6 or 7 croquetas. I could probably double them up. I could double up las croquetas and eat them in 2s. So 6 of them. If I have some water, my mouth will get dry. I'm thinking about 30 seconds. So, yeah, 30 seconds to eat 6 or 7 croquetas. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's hit hard to the right side. Archeta has to jump over that ball because it was hit to the right side, and the first baseman, Raber, was holding him on, so there was a big hole over there. So Archeta takes 4 or 5 steps off of the base, and here comes a ground ball off of Argolte's bat, and he has to do a hurdle over it. Anyway, everybody's safe. There's runners on first and second now with 1 out for the last batter, Justin Mercado. All right, se están complicando las cosas. Things are getting complicated here for Bishop Verot. And I'm not sure if they won last year, but I know they made it last year, and they have a very great, a nice program over there. I mean, they're always very competitive. In fact, I think they were the favorites coming into this game. Let's face it, powerhouse like Bishop Verot, nobody gave Miami Springs a chance. And yet, here they are. Mercado takes the first pitch for a ball. Victor Escobar, who's busy on the chat, he says, Jake Cueto, best center fielder in Miami. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there, buddy, but yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. Defensively, total package-wise, arm strength, speed, what he brings to the table. He's got 2 more years left in him. I like Pardo from Doral. I like him. There's a ball that stung, but it's hit foul to the right side. I like Pardo, but he's a senior. He's gone. So defensively, I like Pardo, and he's a great hitter. Christian Miranda says, is there a live stream to watch the game? Yeah, it's HF High School, what's it called? HSFN or something like that. But I think you got to pay. Y mientras tanto, esto es gratis. This is free. You get to listen to Uncle Muggs. I'm trying to describe it as best I can. The left-handed hitting. Mercado's in there. They got the gray uniforms with the maroon sleeves. Runners on first and second, and another excellent stop there by Chandler, but it got caught up between his legs, and I think that caught a piece of Mercado. So we're going to have the bases loaded with 1 out for the big dog, the coach on the field, Kelvin Pereira. So the story here has been the ineffective pitching of the Vikings of Bishop Verot. And no quiero alardear mucho because it might come back and bite us, but the way things are going, I mean, the Hawks only need 6 outs. The pitcher's still Blake Lavinia. I don't see anybody warming up over there, so they're going to live and die with this guy. And he throws Pereira first ball nice and low for a ball. And now we have a mound visit, and I think this is the manager. This is the Casey Scott. Y creo que lo va a sacar. Oh, yeah, here we got a new pitcher here. All right, we're going to be right back right after this because I got to drink some water y comerme un sandwich que estoy partido en dos. But you're listening to FSPN. It's the Class 3A FHSAA State Championship from Fort Myers. Hang on, I think he's leaving him in there. Oh, yeah, he's staying there. He's staying in there. I think they threw in the towel this game. La gente se van para la casa. It's not going to be a far drive. It's only 6 miles away. You can always come back and watch a championship game tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a good one. Okay, we're going to keep it right here. Top of the 5th, 1 out. Bases loaded. But I think one more hit, we're going to see another pitcher. Another hit or a walk. And the underdog Hawks are taking it to the Vikings. Pereira steps in. He already has a ball to his name. Ancheta's on third. 2 runs already across the board for Miami Springs. Low and away for ball 2 to Kelvin Pereira. Argote standing on second base. Justin Mercado's on first. The corners are in for the Vikings of Bishop Verot. Y ahora el pitcher está leyendo. Ellos tienen como un wristband con los picheos y todo tipo de accesorios que tienen ahí en el wrist. And that one's scorched to the gap in right center. It's going to find it. 1 run is going to score. That's number 5. And Fanshaw is going to hold Argote at third base. The bases are going to remain loaded. Y tremenda línea by Kevin Pereira. right over the second baseman. I thought it was going to get in the gap, but this field is so big that they were able to cut it off. So the bases are going to remain loaded. It's 5-0 in favor of the underdog. These guys right here, the Miami Springs Golden Hawks, baby. Ricardo Perez says, Blanco como Ariel. I have no idea what that means. That could be some Puerto Rican language that they speak. I don't know what we're talking about. All right, George Roca, the coach for San Brendan, says Jack Cueto, best center fielder in the county, in the country, not Miami, in the country. No. Wow. Okay, the left-handed batting. Magdiel Estevez steps in with 2 out and 1 out. Takes the first pitch for a strike. 5-0 ball game. Bases are still loaded, folks. And Estevez can hit. He steps out of the box for a minute, and he goes over to talk to Fanshaw. Fanshaw puts his arm around Estevez, and I know what he's telling him. Dale, papi, have some fun. Mete tu línea, have some fun. We're going to score 2 more. We're going to put a touchdown on these guys. Y los vamos a fajar with South Walton mañana. And that's basically what he told him. I heard him from here. Christian Miranda says, you're great. Love the commentary. Christian, just trying to keep it real, man. Trying to keep it real. And I love my Hawks. I love the Hawks. I spent like 6 games standing in center field doing Hawks games. Frying out there porque había un calor de carajo. So bases loaded, infield is in. 1 out for Estevez, and that one's in the dirt. An easy take. Laviña's running out of gas. El pitcher de los Vikings ya está cansado. Sí, yo estoy cansado de verlo. Imagínate él que está pichando allá afuera. There's a ball high. He's not finishing. Los mechanics están all over the place. Y hace un calor, caballero. Aquí ustedes no saben. Forma, no sé en Miami si hace calor o no. Pero los últimos 4 o 5 días están 90 y pico grados. No hay aire ninguno. Here's the pitch from Liberty, and it's fouled straight back. The count goes 3-2. Otra persona asking for Chappie. Chappie está jugando golf, caballero. Chappie ahora mismo está en Mikazuki. Okay, sudando, pero jugando golf. Here's the payoff pitch to Estevez, and that's lined in the left center field gap. Oh, that's going to get past everybody. One's going to score. Here comes Mercado. He's going to score. Hi, Papa. Y le han metido, and he's safe at third. Well, they threw behind to try to get the courtesy runner. Y le han metido un touchdown por la cabeza a esta gente. A one-hitter so far, a touchdown. Here they come to get Laviña. Se ha vuelto loco aquí la cosa. The fans are unbelievable here in Lee County Sports Complex. Hammond Stadium. Let me put 7 over there. Un touchdown. Y mira lo que tengo aquí. Si se las pasan. If they go crazy, I got a flag for you guys. I got a flag that I'm going to throw on Miami Springs if they put 10 runs. They put 10 runs on Bishop Verot. Ay, papá. A mí me va a dar algo. A mí me va a dar algo. Aquí viene un pitcher nuevo. We got a new arm. Este lo van a fonguear también. Oh, my goodness. What a game. What a game. Uncle Muggs here. And I'm going to put up one of my favorite. Mira. Ay, Elizabeth. Ay, Elizabeth. Who would have thunk this? Ay, Dios mío. Eso le están dando. Mira. Taquicardia le están dando ahora a Bishop Verot. Listen, we'll be right back. Let me play a quick commercial. We'll be right back. Well, Chappie, before we get into the recap, some of the pitchers from around the league were giving out so many croquetas, and they were nice enough to send us some. These right here are some special Miami Springs croquetas from Kevin Roque. These are delicious. You got to try the Andy Espinoza croquetas. Those are really good. And I heard that the lefty croquetas are the best. The Luis Sosa and Magdiel Estevez ones. Those are really good.
I heard in this, though, there's also some Marcelo Rodriguez croqueticas.
Rodriguez makes a good croqueta.
Rios from Columbus makes some really good ones over there.
And you got to try the Dominican croquetas from our friend Alfred Rosario and Isaac Vidal. They make a very special.
Yeah, those Dominicans, they know how to make them real good.
Mira, la croquetica esta. All right, welcome back, everyone, to Fort Myers for the state championship, the Class 3A. Uncle Muggs over here doing the audio only, because you can catch the video part of it on FHSAA Network y pagar los 35 pesos y puedes verlo o puedes oírme a mí gratis. We have a new pitcher, and the new pitcher is number 14, y se llama Tegan Turner. Tegan Turner is the new pitcher, and he's going to face the third batter, the shortstop, Roy Down Perez. So Tegan Turner. Y este side armor lo van a fonguear. And right away, Perez with a base hit, and that's going to be run number 8. Ay, Tegan Turner, lo que te espera a ti, papá. Te van a fonguear. Ay, Bishop Verot. ¿Qué está pasando aquí, Bishop Verot? Runners on first and third for the Golden Hawks. Y ay, papá. Mira qué contento está Fancho. I think I saw him smile. I don't know, se estaba limpiando los dientes. No, he's going to smile tomorrow. Tomorrow he's going to smile. No, que tenía un chicle ahí. I thought I saw his teeth. Pero no. But Fancho's having a good time. Le duele el brazo because he's been waving people home. He's just been like a windmill over there at third base, diciendo, hey, come on home. Bring it home. And that they did. The Hawks have 8 runs on the board. Jordani's up now, and he skies one foul. And they've batted around because Jordani started this inning. Y yo tengo que cambiar el scorebook ahora because now I got to go to the other column. If you've ever taken score, you know when they bat around, now you got to erase the little number in the top because there's only one out. Runners in the corners for the Hawks. The side-arming Turner throws another one in there that's fouled back. So quickly there's 2 strikes and no balls to the third baseman. They got the third baseman, Gonzalez. See, porque Suarez scored. Suarez was the pinch runner. Okay, Suarez scored. McDale's on third base. That pitch was low and away for a ball. Okay, Perez had that hit. Just organizing the books here, folks. Bear with me a second. Esto no fácil. So, yeah, they have batted around. Jordani started this inning with a walk. Hace como media hora. Han fongueado a Lavenia. Están cogiendo a Turner aquí. Le están fongueando a Turner. And that one was behind Gonzalez. The right-handed pitching Turner. Sidearm se la tiró behind Gonzalez. So that wasn't even close. The count goes 2-2. He's coming from the stretch. Se la tira bajita, 3-2. So now the count goes full with runners in the corners. ¿Por qué no puedo ver los chat ahora, caballero? Ya que Andres Saya says, "Sup, Christian?" Christian says, "You're great. Love the commentary. Just trying to be real, baby. Just trying to keep it real from the Hawks." Here's the pitch, and that one's lined into center field, and it's not going to be caught. It drops in front of Carpenter. Y papá, you're not going to believe this. That's run number 9 on Bishop Verot. Number 9. I'm going to look now in the schedule. A ver si le han metido 9 antes. Pero look what I got here. Papá, mira lo que tengo aquí. Tengo el yellow flag. El yellow flag. Mira. Tengo el yellow flag. Porque le van a meter 10 a esta gente por la cabeza. Ay, papá. Vamos a ver Bishop Verot. 32 wins and 2 losses. Now coming up to bat, it's Darian Soto. And your score is 9-0. Bases, runners on first and second. No count. 1 out. Y la primera base, Darian Soto's up to bat to face the side armor, Tegan Turner, that threw one over for a strike. So these Vikings of Bishop Verot, they've lost 2 games. One of them was 8-7 against Charlotte. And there's a swinging strike. Okay, the other loss that they have was 4-0 against Cavalry Christian. So, en su vida de esta 2025, not even in their wins, le han metido 9 por la cabeza. And there's another shot. If it drops, it's going to be a run scored. Oh, coming in to make a good place is Owen Rardin. Oh, and he doubles up Perez at second base. All right, no problem. The Golden Hawks are going to leave 2 on base. They're going to get a touchdown in the top of the 5th, and they're going to lead this 9-0. We're going to head to the bottom of the 5th inning from Fort Myers, from Lee County Sports Complex, from Hammond Stadium, the 3A FHSAA Championship. And you're watching Uncle Muggs. Igual tiraron una toalla. They score one more run, and I'm throwing a flag on those guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
So today I have the honor to give out the very first FSPN award to a junior who very well deserves it. This guy hit over 365. He had 35 hits, 31 RBIs. He was consistent as heck at third base defensively, like you wouldn't believe. He was a leader on this team. When they asked him to play another position, he says, no problem, buddy, I'm going to do my best. I want to give this award to Yodeki Quevedo, Junior Player of the Year. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. All right, I want to give you this award. It's the first one, and hopefully one day you will be an answer to a trivia question that who received the first FSPN, and it was this guy right here. So if you could do me the honor, and please, sácamela, Yodeki. There it is, the Junior Player of the Year, Yodeki Quevedo, the very first FSPN. And once again, you guys, thank you very much. Parents, everybody involved, thank you for that. Diago, papi. Diago.
Sácame la Mugs.
All right, guys, thank you once again. Uncle Muggs here from the state championships and the FHSAA finals.
Oye, eso estaba funky, el rhythm ese. See that again. Oh, yeah, I'm digging that. All right, we start the bottom of the 5th inning with the leadoff batter, Grayson Carpenter, and he's going to face El Roquetero, Kevin Roque, who's on the mound for the Miami Springs Golden Hawks that are up 9-0. He gets the first one over for a ball, and that one's well hit into center field for a base hit. Claro, they got to get hits too. You know, ellos tienen bate, guante, and spikes, and pine tar, and all that stuff. You know, they got to get a couple hits every now and then too. So man on first with nobody out, and it's going to bring up the second batter for the Vikings, Braylon Sheffield, and he bats from the left side. Yo creo que este sobrino, primo, algo de Gary Sheffield. Porque es mucha casualidad que he's from Fort Myers. And Gary Sheffield is from like Tampa. Y el tipo juega tremenda pelota. And he's going to face Roque from the left side. And he slaps one foul, which is going to be a souvenir for that little kid is quick, boy. He got to that ball quick. The chamacos aquí don't play around with those foul balls, man. They get to him fast. So Sheffield batting from the left side, Roque the right-handed pitcher, and that one's a foul ball as well, but that one's maybe catchable over there by Estevez, and he catches it deep out there, and this is a big ballpark. I told you Hammond Stadium is gigantic. The Minnesota Twins play here. It's all of 330 down the line. It's 405 in center field, and you need to drop a nuclear bomb to get it out of here. And I've seen a couple home runs. Nico Sabatino, he hit one out for St. Thomas. He pulled one down the line this morning. Otro chamaco hit one to right field, and they've only been a handful of home runs here. So with a runner on first base and one out, Joey Lawson, the big bopper for the Vikings. He has 8 home runs. And he hits that one high and deep. Y cuidado que eso fue number 9. That one's gone, bro. Pa. Esa la puso en la quimbamba. So 9-2. Holy cow. He got all of that one. That Lawson kid is for real. Tremenda Rafa. So Carpenter's going to score. I mean, that was high and deep and no doubter. Estevez went to the wall and he waved at it bye-bye. Y tremendo home run for the Vikings. They must be excited. I think they got something to cheer about. Mira para eso, ahí tiene boom ese. Let me tell you, estás perdiendo por 7 carreras and you're doing all that boom stuff. Mira, I don't know about that. You better save that for when you got the lead or you're tied. Tanto boom, yes, boom, when they hit a home run. Boom. There's a hard hit ground ball to Gonzalez. He scoops it up on 2 hops, fires over to Soto, and that's going to be the second out of the inning in the top of the 5th. Gonzalez with a nice grab over there at third base. Yep, Ricardo Perez has 3 field goals. No, ahora están ganando por un touchdown nada más. 9-2. They got a safety. Aquí viene la primerita. Nick Raber, the first baseman. He's a right-handed hitter. Buena gente chamaco. He puts a cross in the ground con bate. Muy religioso. I like that. So 2 outs. Takes a first pitch from Roque outside for ball 1. And where's my gente in Miami Springs? Ricardo says even Sam Brendan's gave them a better game than that. ¿Verdad? Sam Brendan tiene tremendo piquete. The Italian stallion, pitched a good game and just made a couple errors. And here's the pitch from Roque, and that one's taken for a strike. The count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes to the 5th batter, Nick Raber, with 2 outs. He's the first baseman for the Bishop Verot Vikings that are up to bat here in the bottom of the 5th. A 2-run homer by Joey Lawson, que la puso en la quimbamba. And that one's low. Count goes even at 2-2. The third baseman for the Vikings, Joey Lawson, got a hold of one. Boy, that was all of 390. Se la perdió por ahí. There's still little kids looking for it. That one's fouled straight back, so the count is 2-2 with 2 outs, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. The score is 9-2 in favor of the Golden Hawks of Miami Springs. And we're going to need more baseballs, and there they come. They refill the umpire's bag with brand new baseballs. Nick Raber steps in from the right side to face Roque from the stretch. Roque gets his sign from Estevez. And now he's taking his time. And now he kicks and deals. And here comes the pitch, and it's fouled straight back. Otra pelota perdida. Another 12, 13 bucks down the drain. Brand new baseball just handed to the umpire. And it's a souvenir. Comes the 2-2 from Roque. And that one's sawed off and hit foul too as well. And the bill keeps adding up. Caja pelota, it's like 12 bucks. Wonder who's paying for this. Here's Roque's pitch. And it's up high. Boy, he walked off the mound like if he cooked them up a croquetica, but the count goes full. 3-2 now with 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th inning in a 9-2 semifinal game. Roque kicks and deals. And there's Roquetica number 7. 7 Roquetas that have been giving out. The Verot Vikings get 2. They leave none. We head to the top of the 6th inning, and your score is 9-2 from the Class 3A FHSAA State Championship. And you're listening to Uncle Muggs on FSPN. I'm going to come right back. Don't go anywhere. And send me some messages on that YouTube. Well, Chappie, before we get into the recap, some of the pitchers from around the league were giving out so many croquetas, and they were nice enough to send us some. These right here are some special Miami Springs croquetas from Kevin Roque. These are delicious. You got to try the Andy Espinosa croquetas. Those are really good. And I heard that the lefty croquetas are the best. The Luis Sosa and Magdiel Estevez ones. Those are really good.
I heard in this, though, there's also some Marcelo Rodriguez croqueticas.
Rodriguez makes a good croqueta.
Rios from Columbus makes some really good ones over there.
And you got to try the Dominican croquetas from our friend Alfred Rosario and Isaac Vidal. They make a very special.
Yeah, those Dominicans, they know how to make them real good.
You got 50-something people watching the Class 3A FHSAA Championship semifinal game between the Bishop Verot Vikings and the visiting team that's coming up to bat now in the top of the 6th inning, the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. They're going to bring up the DH, Taylor Ancheta, and he's a fan favorite. I've been reading the chats here. A lot of people like Taylor. They said he's the best-kept secret in Miami. Ancheta's going to face and first pitch swinging. He hits one in the hole, in the 3-4 hole, and that gets through for a base hit. So, hey, you keep that stud status. Taylor Ancheta starts off this top of the 6th inning with a base hit for the Golden Hawks, and they keep putting the pressure on these guys. I mean, I think I took this out too early, but I'm waiting. If they score a couple more runs, le voy a tirar un flag de aquí. I'm going to reach the field porque Muggs has still got an arm, bro. I still got a bazooka. All right, Torres steps in. You're down the second baseman. Slightly open stance. He's going to face the side armor. Turner throws that one outside for ball one. Tegan Turner drops down. He's a tall, lanky, right-handed pitcher. And he drops down, and not like Kent Takovi, but it's a very obvious sidearm. And that one's blooped, and it's going to fall in front of the left fielder, Arias, and they're going to force him out at second because that one was held. Yeah, he had to hold on. Ancheta had to wait, and that ball just barely dropped in front of him. Good arm by Nico Ayers, and he got the forced out at second base for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Argote, who bats from the right side. So they're just going to swap places, Jordan and Ancheta, but they're going to put one out on the scoreboard. So back-to-back hits. Here comes the sidearm. He bounces one in there. Tegan Turner, he came in for Blake Lavinia. And the starter for the Vikings, Tyler Reeder, he got yanked after an inning and a half. Y tanto que I heard of that guy que I was hearing people, no, he's unhittable. You can't hit him. The guy te tira 90 y pico. Puede tirar 100 y pico, but he didn't throw strikes. And when he did, mira, bim. So he was gone after 1.5. Y este está bolón también. The count goes 2-1. Argote is the right fielder. Y aquí todo el mundo son seniors. Aquí no hay freshmen ni nada de eso. We got all seniors for this Miami Springs team. Argote takes another ball low. Now it goes to 2-1. My bad. Henry Blanco. My boy number 3, the center fielder for the Killian Cougars. He's going to be an Indian River player next year. There's another one, and it's ball 4. Argote goes to first. Torres goes to second. Y papá, le vamos a poner 3 más este inning. Here comes Mercado from the left side. After Mercado, it's Kelvin Pereira, and then it's Magdiel Estevez again. Sí, vino Bolón. Vino Bolón, starter. Este Bolón. Este side armor me da miedo. If I'm a right-handed hitter and this side armor está tirando encima de mí, mira. Mercado swung at one that was low and inside for strike 1. There's one out. Hay un out, caballero. Estamos 9-2 en la entrada del inning número 6. Los Golden Hawks de Miami Springs anotaron 7 en el quinto inning. Y mira, un little blooper por tercera, pero ahí va Lawson. Lawson la coge detrás en el territorio foul territory. Lawson went over there and caught one that was blooped off the bat of Mercado for the second out. The runners will remain on first and second base, and it's going to bring up the catcher, leadoff batter, Kelvin Pereira, in a 9-2 game, top of the 6th inning. Who would have thunk it? Di la verdad. Chat, talk to me. Did anybody think Miami Springs was going to win? Eh? I know they haven't won yet, pero nobody, de verdad. Hey, come and chat. The chat's open. Dime algo. First pitch from Turner to Pereira is outside for a ball. Nadie. Even I had my doubts, I'll be honest with you. Everybody was saying that righty from Bishop Verot. Ay, Bishop Verot. Bishop Verot. There's a ball high to Pereira. ¿Qué va? Cuando está para ti, está para ti. 2-0, the count to the catcher, Pereira, and he hits one high and deep in the left center field, and that one has a chance. And that one leaves the yard. It leaves the yard. Pereira with a 3-run homer makes it 11-2 for the Miami Springs Golden Hawks, and he supplied the power. Ay, papa, Bishop Verot. Thank God you don't have to go very far to go back home. So only 6 miles. The score is 12-2, folks. And there goes the boom. Kelvin Pereira cogió el sidearmer y lo fongueó. There go the kids to find it over there in the lawn. They're fighting for the ball now. What a shot. Eso sí fue una bomba. La de Lawson was deep too, pero esta fue parecida. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So Jordan scores. Argote scored. Pereira para la calle. He scored. Ay, Dios mío. That one sliced foul. Magdiel Estevez is the batter. 12-2. Con 2 out. Le puso la bomba allá afuera. My goodness, bro. Qué barbaridad. What a bomb, dude. Well hit. Major League ballpark. Esto no es none of those little parks that we have. I'm not going to say any names over there, but this is not a little field. You know, esto no es Westminster ni nada de eso. Esto es un big field. Swing and a foul back by Estevez brings the count to no balls and 2 strikes. This is a major league ballpark for a high schooler to launch one the way that these guys have done. Both Joey Lawson, that was a rope, and Pereira here. 3 more runs. Wow, 12-2. So we're 3 outs away. And he reaches out. Estevez just pokes one into center field, and it drops in front of Grayson Carpenter. It was like a one-handed swing, but he got enough of it to get it out of the infield and into shallow center field. So the Springs Hawks are not done yet. Runner on first for the shortstop, Roy Dan Perez. Ay, papa. Don't call it an upset. We've been here for years. There's the sidearm. Turner throws one over for a ball to Perez. And he does dip down quite a bit. I mean, he goes a little bit more than 3/4. Estevez is speedy on first base. Yo lo mando. Easy take for Perez, high and inside. The count goes 2-0. Come on, guys, send me some texts, man. Send me some messages. There's 60 of you out there. Turner throws high, and why did he check on the first base? He didn't swing. Okay. Home plate umpire checked with the first base umpire after that check swing, and he says it was safe. 2-1 the count to Perez. That one's high and in. The count goes 3-1. And this has been the story of Verot pitching. No pueden tirar strike. Sidearm over the top and 98. Lo que tú quieras. You got to get it over the plate. Estevez is on first. The shortstop is and that's called inside. Pero, cállate la boca, Mux. 3-2. The count. And there's ball 4. No te digo que esta gente está en bolón. Papi, ponme a mí que yo todavía puedo tirar strike. And here comes one of the coaches for the Bishop Verot Vikings, and I think that's going to be it for the sidearm Tegan Turner. I think he's done. Le quitan la pelota, le dan CPR. ¿Cuál es el próximo? All right, we're going to be right back. Thanks for listening, everyone.
South Florida high school baseball fans, this one's for you. Every Sunday at 6 a.m., grab your coffee and get ready for the most entertaining, informative, and downright hilarious recap of the week in high school baseball. Hosted by Anthony Chappie Castillo and Brian Uncle Muggs Gonzalez, this show covers all the action from the past week. Big hits, game-saving plays, standout moments, and more. Check out the Player Spotlight, where we sit down with some of South Florida's top talent and get to know the stars behind the stats. Then swing by the Coach's Corner, where we interview local head coaches and dive into their strategy, leadership, and the heart of the game. And don't miss your chance to be part of the show. We feature fan interaction via Instagram, so send us your hot takes, questions, and shout-outs. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay in the loop and help us grow this incredible baseball community. Every play, every player, every Sunday. This is the South Florida High School Baseball Recap Show. Don't miss it.
So today I have the honor to give out the very first FSPI award to a junior who very well deserves it. This guy hit over 365. He had 35 hits, 31 RBIs. He was consistent as heck at third base defensively, like you wouldn't believe. He was a leader on this team. When they asked him to play another position, he says, no problem, buddy, I'm going to do my best. I want to give this award to Yodeki Quevedo, Junior Player of the Year. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. All right, I want to give you this award. It's the first one, and hopefully one day you will be an answer to a trivia question that who received the first FSPI, and it was this guy right here. So if you could do me the honor, and please, sácamela, Yodeki. There it is.
Welcome back
the Junior
to FSPN's
Player of
coverage of the Class 3A state semifinal. The new pitcher is Nick Raber. He was the third baseman. I mean, he was the first baseman. There's been changes all over the place. Imagínate, Bishop Verot didn't expect this. They're scrambling. Tiene la primera base pichando. Imagínate. He throws the first one over for a strike to Jordani Gonzalez. Runners on first and second base. Perez and Estevez. Estevez is on second base. And Nick Raber is a right-hander. Like I said, he was playing first base. Now Joey Lawson's playing first base. And that one's lifted high to the right side. This could be the third out of the inning. Baxman brings it in. The Golden Hawks are going to leave two runners, but they're going to get three. They make the game 12-2. We head to the bottom of the sixth inning, and we need 3 outs. And the Hawks advance to the final game against South Walton. And you're listening to FSPN on the Class 3A FHSAA State Championship from Fort Myers. We'll be right back, everybody. Well, Chappie, before we get into the recap, some of the pitchers from around the league were giving out so many croquetas, and they were nice enough to send us some. These right here are some special Miami Springs croquetas from Kevin Roque. These are delicious. You got to try the Andy Espinoza croquetas. Those are really good. And I heard that the lefty croquetas are the best. The Luis Sosa and Magdiel Estevez ones. Those are really good.
I heard in this, though, there's also some Marcelo Rodriguez croquetas.
Rodriguez makes a good croqueta.
Rios from Columbus makes some really good ones over there.
And you got to try the Dominican croquetas from our friend Alfred Rosario and Isaac Vidal. They make a very special.
Yeah, those Dominicans, they know how to make them real good.
Welcome back to Fort Myers, everybody, for FSPN's coverage of the Class 3A FHSAA semifinal game between the home team on the scoreboard, the Bishop Verot Vikings, and the visiting team, the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. The Golden Hawks are up 12-2. That's right, no need to adjust the volume on your Wi-Fi or on your speakers or anything. 12 runs to 2. Nobody thunked that except the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. Nick wants to know what's the run rule. That's it, buddy. 10 runs. We're in the bottom of the 6. Si cogen 3 out aquí, it's over, and they're going to face 6, 7, and 8. Brody Baxman, who hits the first pitch, line drive off of the glove of Torres over there at second base. Boy, he almost backhanded that one, pero tremenda línea, base hit. Runner on first base for the catcher, Carter Chandler, who's walked and struck out. The story here, 2 stories. The story on the Miami Springs side, 7 croquetas for Kevin Roque. And he's going to face the catcher with nobody out and a runner on first. Quickly swings at the first pitch, fouls it straight back. The other story on the other side of the plate has been a ton of walks and just not able to get anything going for the Vikings. There's a strike called. 0-2 the count quickly. Springs can use a double play. That would put the dagger right in the heart of the Vikings. Roque from the stretch. He kicks and deals to Baxman. And he fouls that one. He hit a lace of the ball. He hit a piece of string that was sticking out of the lace. Andres Sayas, you're the man. Que salsa. Here's the pitch. And that one's weakly hit to right field. Argote comes in. He makes the play for the first out of the inning. So 2 more outs. And these Golden Hawks are going to advance. That was Alvarez in right field. Andres Suarez. Andres Suarez is in right field. He made that play. He came in for Argote. Mercado stays in center field. Now Argote's in left field. And that pitch from Roque was a strike to Nico Ayers, the right-handed batting left fielder. And he takes that one for a called strike. Jake Sedemac is on deck. And we might have a pinch hitter. And there's one that's hit hard to center field. Mercado's coming in on it. He's got a beat on it. He makes the play, an easy out there. So an F8 for Ayers. And now that's going to bring up Anthony Rittler. And he's going to hit for Jake Sedemac with 2 outs. So 1 out away from advancing to play South Walton for the state title, the 3A title. And we'll see Estevez on the mound tomorrow. There's a strike. Well, Kevin Roque means business, boy. He just gets the ball from Estevez. And nothing phases that kid. Out of 4 o'clock, we're going to watch Tampa Jesuit. We're going to have that one on, so remember to watch it. I'm going to do highlights of that one. Sunday, we have Inside the Park. Later today, a las 7 de la noche, we have American Heritage. Okay, so it's action-packed. We have some good teams still here. Up high. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. On the pinch hitter, Anthony Rittler. Here's the 2-1. Grounded hard to the right side. Soto picks it up. He steps on the bag. And the Miami Springs Golden Hawks are going to win it, folks. The Golden Hawks are going to win this. And it's going to be 12-2. Le metieron un knockout, something I don't think has happened in a long, long time to Bishop Verot. So my hat's off to everybody over there at Miami Springs. Let me put my shoes back on because I'm going to go down there and celebrate and talk to the coach. And we'll catch him in the press conference. I want to thank everybody that participated on YouTube. We're going to be back tomorrow for the championship game. Let's root on our Miami Springs Golden Hawks, guys. We need the support. We need those good vibes from Miami to come through I-75 and bring them over here. Y todos los oyentes. Thanks, guys. Mira, Danny Barrientos, class of 2010. Dice, go Hawks. All right, keep them coming. We'll catch you tomorrow. And don't forget to watch our other 2 games that are coming up right after this, which is Tampa Jesuit. Y después vamos a ver American Heritage. All right, guys. Take care. Love you all. Peace. Uncle Mug's out.